high, sweetly singing all the plains. And the
Hello there, it's Sanu, your IKEA enthusiast back again. Nice to see you all. Today, I'm going to show you some new winter arrivals from IKEA that I really don't want you to miss. New items at IKEA sell out so fast, so I hope this helps you catch them in time. I'll also show you what I bought myself, and I'll be honest about any little downsides I noticed. Let's start in the vase section. These tiny mini vases come in a set of 3. If you're very familiar with IKEA, you might remember them. They were part of a limited collection a while back, and they sold out in a flash at the time. But for some reason, they've come back. Can you tell how small they are on camera? They are really tiny, about the size of your palm. They're great for things like a small bulb that has just started rooting, and I sometimes give my potos a little haircut, so they would be perfect for propagating cuttings in water. If the glass were clear, I'd probably worry a bit about dirt building up inside, because the shape would be harder to wash. But this slightly tinted, stylish color makes that less noticeable. So I think it works well. They're so small that you can tuck them into a little gap, like beside the kitchen sink. So I think they'll be very easy to use. I wanted to show them first, hoping that those of you who missed out last time can finally grab them this time. Recently, it has suddenly gotten really cold here in Japan. At night, it's been too chilly to just tough it out, so I decided to pick this up. This is a new multi-cover with a bumpy textured pattern that looks very charming. It comes in 3 colors, white, green, and beige, and there are 2 size options. It's actually quite large, more like a blanket or even a full throw. It's basically a blanket size. I went for the 150 by 250 size. I was torn between the beige and the white, but in the end, I chose white. The material is polyester. You can wash it in the machine, but it's not suitable for tumble drying. That's the part that gave me a tiny bit of a bad feeling. Right now, it's fluffy and soft, but in a drum-type washer, towels and similar fabrics tend to get a bit flattened when you wash them. They usually fluff back up in the dryer, but because of that tendency, I started worrying about what might happen to this bumpy texture after washing. I washed it on a regular cycle. As a conclusion, I do feel the fibers got a bit flattened in the wash. If you give it a good shake to fluff it up before hanging it to dry, it might look a little better. Here's how it looks after drying. Since it's quite thin, it dried quickly. The textured surface itself is still lovely, so it looks really nice, just casually draped over the sofa like this. The white is quite bright and crisp, so it pairs beautifully with gold accents. If you spread it sideways across 2 single beds, you can basically use it like a bedspread. When I filmed it, the pattern kept rippling on camera, which was a bit distracting, and I felt like it could easily cause moiré. When I actually tried using it as a blanket, I really liked that it's light but still warm. It is quite thin. Another good thing about this fleece type material is that it doesn't really wrinkle. You can also fold it in half and use it as a bedspread on a single bed like this. The beige version is very nice too, so I couldn't decide for a while, but overall I'm happy because it looks lovely. If you have a drum-type washing machine, just give it a bit of extra care when you wash it, like shaking and fluffing it well before you hang it to dry. I also picked up this candle. It's only available while stock lasts, so if you're interested, grab it sooner rather than later. It's on the larger side, so it has a good presence even in a wide area like a dining table, and I really like the design. With scented candles, the fragrance can fade if you leave them open, so I recommend covering them when you're not using them. I'm using the larger 10 cm cork coaster from IKEA as a makeshift lid. It doesn't fit like a real lid, but it keeps dust off, so I still recommend covering it like this. If candles aren't really part of daily life where you live, these jar candles are an easy way to start. They feel stable and are less likely to tip over. Don't drip wax everywhere, and you can just set them down and light them. Back in the showroom area, I found a very festive artificial bouquet in this room set. There are pine cones on it and holly too, so it feels very Christmassy. It would be perfect as a decoration for a party. This vase is also a new item. The pattern is beautiful. And because the light was hitting it just right, all the facets were sparkling so nicely. When it comes to Christmas items, IKEA sells out incredibly fast every year. Sometimes in rare years, a few ornaments get a small discount after December starts, but big markdowns are unusual and things could always change. So it's pretty much first come, first served, and I recommend buying early, especially these stockings, because many stores already seem to be running low. In the sofa bed area, they had a setup that really made the whole space feel full of Christmas spirit. The fact that this is actually a sofa bed is already pretty surprising on its own, but this time I want to focus on the bedding. This is a set with a very fluffy, warm duvet cover and pillowcase. I'm sure it's really cozy. Because it's bright white, it looks amazing next to all the Christmas colors. This duvet cover also comes in gray. I actually wanted it myself, but the fabric is thick and takes up a lot of space. So when I thought about storing it away in the off-season, I kind of chickened out and didn't buy it. I really liked how this long rectangular cushion cover and the Christmas cushion next to it happened to have almost the same shade of green in their designs. They look so good together. Just adding a cushion cover like this one would instantly bring a festive mood into your room. When people think of IKEA, I think many of you picture cushion covers, but they actually sell a lot of cushions that already come with the inner feeling too. Here's a small fun fact. On the kids' cushions, the zippers are designed in a special way. There's no zipper pull attached. This is a safety feature to remove the metal part, so children are less likely to pull on it, hit their face with it, or put it in their mouths and get hurt. They also sell 50 by 50 cushions that already have the filling inside. These are great because when you get tired of the cover, you can just reuse them as inner cushions. Most IKEA cushion covers are made for 50 by 50 inserts, so they're very practical. This candy-shaped cushion has already sold out in Japan. It disappeared from the shelves in no time, even though it was still there when I filmed. In this room set, there was a new item that really caught my eye. This black stool. In person, it looked smaller than online and felt nicely compact. The finish feels high quality, so it could work as a side table too. The seat is made of birch and the legs are solid pine. The tag said the height can be adjusted from 44 to 55 centimeters, so you can tweak it quite a bit depending on how you want to use it. That versatility is a big plus. They also had this new glass teapot on display. Even the strainer part is made entirely of glass, and it looks really beautiful. We're heading into party season now, so I find myself paying a lot more attention to tableware. There are lots of other nice brands too, but IKEA is so affordable that you end up buying on a whim, for better or worse. Let me show you a room set with a clever storage idea. Whoever lives here probably loves working out. They've hung the mat from a curtain rail, which is such a smart reuse of a curtain rod. Down below, MOSSLANDA shelves are mounted on the wall to keep everything off the floor, a really good use of wall space. The tableware in this room was also really lovely, so let's take a closer look together. Recently, they released this new faux greenery that you can see in the back here. It's a refreshed version of something they had before, so you might recognize it, but it's now back as a new item. By the way, IKEA also sells real versions of this kind of houseplant. They are potted plants. The real ones are a bit smaller than the one you see here, but they're available in store. Among the tableware, there was one thing that really caught my eye. This gold plate. They had a little moss ball arrangement sitting on top, and it looked perfect with the gold plate. I thought, so that's how you can use a gold plate like this, and I found it really inspiring. The moss ball itself is not an IKEA product, but it looked so nice that I really want to recreate this idea at home. I've been eyeing this console table behind the sofa for a long time, and I keep thinking it would be perfect behind my own sofa. It's made of pine but doesn't look cheap at all. The only thing is, I'm sure someone at home would try to sit on it, which worries me a bit. They also have this bag with a horse pattern. Wait, the zodiac? Is the year of the horse 2026? Apparently it is. This collection is part of the Lunar New Year series. In Japan, we don't see it very often, so it feels a bit unfamiliar, but in other countries, they release more bold, festive designs in typical New Year colors. The back of the bag has the same horse print. They also have freezer bags with the same motif. I first spotted them in October, but they sold out quickly afterward. The restock date is listed on the online store. There's another horse bag in the same series as well. This one has a fluffy mane detail. The back side is a simple black. If you compare it to the other totes hanging next to it, you can see it's slightly smaller. On the online site, the model shown carrying it is a child, so I think it's sized, so kids can use it comfortably. Because the design is more elaborate, the price is a little higher than the regular bags. This horse motif bag is part of a limited collection. IKEA tote bags are handy. I like to fold these tote-style bags and keep them in my main bag for shopping, and since I usually carry a backpack, they're great as an extra sub-bag as well. There was also a very fun doormat that I really wanted to show you. It has a super long dog on it. The slightly silly expression on its face is so endearing. Doormats like this aren't very common in Japan, but you place them in front of the door and wipe your shoes on them to remove dirt before you go inside. IKEA doormats are quite sturdy, and this one is a perfect size for the doorway, so they always get good reviews. Right next door is the rug section. There's a rug series called STÖRTSKÖN, which I think is probably IKEA's most popular rug, and they've released a new color. It's this deep green that leans slightly toward khaki. It's gorgeous. Colors like this work really well with natural beiges and off-whites, and they also look great with black-legged furniture, helping ground the space and make the room feel calmer. It suits a Japandi-style interior really well too. The STÖRTSKÖN series has a dense pile and feels quite high-end, but the price is still very reasonable, which is why it has been popular at IKEA for a long time. And the beige color was added more recently. The only downside is that the size options are limited, but if one of these sizes fits your room, I can really recommend it. The pile is short, so it's easy to clean. We've had ours for about 3 years, and the fibers were starting to get a bit flat. So recently, I used a brush to lift the pile again. This brush is actually a pet brush from a 100 yen shop, and it plumped the rug up quite nicely. IKEA has lots of different rug styles. there are options with longer pile like this one. And there was a series here that I wasn't too familiar with. It's similar to STÖRTSKÖN's, but with slightly longer pile. Another long-running bestseller at IKEA is the WINTERFINT series. The pile is quite long, so it gives a really luxurious feel. Compared to STÖRTSKÖN's, this white looks a bit brighter and more crisp. In this series, only the white color comes in 3 sizes. Let's move over to the kitchen area. IKEA has lots of things that make you think, what is this even for? I really love that. For example, this utensil that looks like a rice paddle or wooden spatula. It's cute, but with all these holes and finger-like prongs, it feels like things would slip through or get caught. It's actually a spaghetti server, and it's so playful that I think kids would enjoy using it. If you've tried it, please let me know how it worked for you. As for this frying pan series, I use this deeper middle size at home. Does anyone else find that it tends to burn food a bit easily? Even when something does stick, the burnt parts usually come off cleanly afterward, but it still feels like it burns first. Maybe I'm just not good at cooking. I've been using the Hemkomst frying pans from IKEA for a long time, both the large and the small ones, and I really like them. Recently I started using this deeper type, and I realized it's great because it reduces oil splatter. These are the glass canisters with bamboo lids, and they now come in 2 sizes. The glass is very clear, so they look really nice. The tall one seems like it's meant for pasta, but doesn't it feel a little too long? Were spaghetti noodles always this long? Recently in the IKEA bakery section, I keep finding myself buying this new bread. It has a stronger chocolate flavor than I expected, so I've decided to treat myself to one of these once a week as a little reward. Thank you so much for watching all the way to the end. I guess the big sale is finally coming next week. I'll see you again very soon in the next video.